And thank you to Karen and the entire Rotman team for having me today. I'm excited to talk with you about charting a new path for organizations. So as we think about where organizations are going to and where they've been, it's important to think about what's going on in the world. And one of the biggest questions is, where do we go from here? And that's being asked by everyone everywhere. And there are so many competitive forces at work with respect to health, safety, environment, global changes, the elections, lots of things moving and happening all the time. And people are asking, when will this get back to normal? And will it get back to normal? And more importantly, what will that new normal be? With the onset of COVID-19 and the global pandemic, business priorities immediately shifted. And they shifted from, well, how will we grow and what will be next for our organization, to actually, how will we survive as an organization and a business? And the best medical and government experts all agree that we will get through this period and we will come out the other side. However, society will be different, and it already is, and every one of us is experiencing that in our daily lives. But it's an incumbent upon leaders to chart a new path for their organization. And as customers and businesses rebuild their daily lives and how they operate in the pandemic, the challenges from that global change have permanently altered a lot of the decisions that consumers are making. One thing everybody does agree on still is the power of the consumer. And today's and future generations are more focused on organizations that align with their values and the overall impact on society. And these individuals are both your customers and they're your employees. Profit at all costs is no longer a winning strategy, and you heard that earlier in one of the other presentations today. Sustainability, societal contribution, or a broader social purpose combined with growing shareholder purpose value is what will drive the organization of the future. And this has never been more evident than what we see in the daily news. Great stories and great organizations making a pivot for a greater societal good to stop the spread, flatten the curve, and keep people safe. These principles of social benefit and sustainable commercial growth do not need to be at odds with one another, and a focus on what matters to your customers is the path to revenue and growth. As we reflect on our current situation and plan for the future, businesses will rebound, but organizations will be forced to reevaluate their entire product and customer strategies. It will require companies to do three things. First, reevaluate. Reevaluate what you do and where you need to go. Reinvent. What changes? What are the pivots that you're going to need to make as an organization? And then reignite. How do you recharge your company, both your employees and your consumers, to engage with you in this new way? What you thought might have been a critical success factor yesterday may actually no longer be relevant today or tomorrow. The elements of this model can help serve as a roadmap to prepare your business for the other side of the curve and find a new path. From there are 5 defining elements of a successful and sustainable business model needed beyond for your business to survive and grow in 2020 and beyond. And yes, I did add one from what you will see in the article in the Rotman magazine, which I believe is critical, and that is all around people. And we're going to talk about all 5 of these as we work our way through the presentation. These elements will set your business apart and help differentiate your organization from those who fail to redefine themselves in the new business paradigm. This is not a marketing strategy, and I don't want people to think that this is a marketing strategy. This is actually a business strategy for what's important. Who you are and how you operate should permeate everything you do as an organization, and that's all around your purpose. Organizations with a strong sense of purpose are more than twice as likely to have above average shareholder returns, and organizational purpose has been correlated strongly with an overall 10-year shareholder performance. But purpose is much deeper than a mission or a vision statement. Purpose focuses your resources on the reason you exist as a business. Everyone in the organization must be aligned to your purpose. 2 key questions to think about. How do you align with what your customers want, what your employees deliver, and what your organization stands for at a broader level? And secondly, how do you as an organization drive an emotional connection with your products and services? The next element of the model is all around presence. And today, presence, and in most instances, omnipresence, is what differentiates successful organizations from ones that don't make it. What's paramount is knowing the best avenue to reach your audience with the right message at the right time. And presence means an integrated approach of offline and online, traditional and non-traditional, bricks and mortar, contact center, and digital. And I think the key for every organization is it's not an and, the key is it's an and, not an or. All of these things need to work in tandem with one another. The other thing that I think is important when we talk about presence is the store is different, not dead. And I think that's the new mantra for retailers and consumer-facing businesses. In-person retailing has changed forever as a result of the pandemic. And that doesn't mean just shopping at the grocery store or at a department store, but that means all consumer-facing shopping experiences. People still will crave the physical and the need for human interaction. However, large retailers have to realize that they will need fewer but more effective stores that are destinations for those consumers. Online retailers are opening physical stores and personal distribution points like home delivery, and we have seen that exponentially grow throughout the pandemic. Amazon continues to partner with organizations to make pickup easier in a physical location. And of course, grocery stores will come to you. Not new, but as I said, dramatically accelerated as a result of the pandemic. The global pandemic will drive digital sales and a further evaluation of any organization's physical network. Two key questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about presence in your organization. What is the customer journey like in your organization, and how do offline and online seamlessly interact? Secondly, how do you ensure your purchase experience is built from the customer out? The next element of the model is all around personalization. And this has been called the big data era, but really we actually have more data than we know what to do with, and more raw computing power that we actually don't or can't leverage. But getting to the heart of what a customer wants and then delivering that product or service that recognizes that and then communicating in a way that feels unique to that customer is what sets great organizations apart. Personalization is a combination of two distinct but complementary strategies. The first one being the what. What do you offer? And it's influenced by a number of factors, including customer level pricing, product customization, behavioral segmentation, and of course, alternative distribution strategies. But the what should address the individual needs of each customer. The second is the how. How will your organization deliver that unique message to each of those customers, and all about the what. Presence is what affords organizations the best opportunity to deliver that message to your customers in a relevant way and through the right relevant channels. Key questions to ask when you're talking about personalization. How are you leveraging the data that you have to drive better customer insights? And what makes each customer unique, and how do you then deliver that uniqueness to them? And today's just the beginning. As we harness the power of AI and machine learning, the unique needs, preferences, and experiences of all of those individual customers will drive an exponential growth in options and choices. The key question to ask yourself is, will your organization be ready to do that? Protection. Protection is the fourth element in the model, and as the pandemic has demonstrated, organizations need the physical protection of their employees and their customers at the heart of their business. Whether it be manufacturing, food safety, financial services, healthcare, or supply chain management, all require a safe, healthy, and protected workforce. This should not be new news to anyone. However, customer and employee business continuity planning is a best practice for the best organizations. Protection is also about the safekeeping of your clients' data, their well-being, their privacy and preferences, and of course, your organizational reputation. Customers rate security and protection as one of the key elements in any business relationship. Both small and large organizations need to make the safekeeping of data a top priority. But what your organization does with the data it collects, how it uses it, stores it, and even sells it will be a priority for the customers who believe that that data is actually in their control, not the organization's control. And customers are demanding data transparency and data access. They want to know what you have about them, and they want to be able to access it when they want. Organizations are going to have to play a greater role in educating consumers about the policies and programs that leverage individual data. Two key questions when you think about protection. What do you do with the data you collect? And how do you actually keep it safe? And is data and customer and employee protection a board-level priority for your organization? The next P is all around people. And as we know, organizations don't do things, people do. And in your organization, it's only as good as the people you have in it. People are defined by their work, but they actually want to work in an organization and in roles where they can grow and personally develop. They work with people they can learn from, and they are compensated fairly for the work that they do. And they actually have a positive work environment. The question to ask yourself is, do you have the right human capital best practices in place to make your company not just a job, but an actual destination? These include the right structure, mandates, performance management and coaching systems, development and succession planning, and of course, compensation. Key questions to ask when you think about your organization and people. Do I have people on my team that are stronger and smarter than me? And do I have an integrated performance management and compensation practices aligned to your organizational goals? And am I helping my teams develop? As we think about where we go from here and wrapping up my model, business owners have all the tools necessary to attract, retain, and of course, grow their customer base. And that includes opportunities within the pandemic. And we have seen businesses make that successful pivot, whether it's growing their online capabilities, growing their offline capabilities, or finding a different way to interact. The unique aspects of the model have their own ability to support your business. However, as business leaders, focusing on integration of these 5 critical factors will ensure your business grows in 2020 and beyond. The path forward is an interesting one. There is a next normal, and we've heard a lot about the new normals, but it's actually a next normal, and there will be a next normal right after that. Look back to remember where we have come from as an organization, take a new approach to determine the path forward, and find ways to set your organization apart. Thank you, and I hope you found it helpful.